Hi guys, welcome back to today's stock deep dive, and today we will dive into Salesforce. The stock symbol is CRM. But before that, let's go into some important information and disclosure. Educational purposes only. This content is created for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. Not a recommendation. Any analysis, charts, or company mentions are for learning and discussion purposes and do not represent a buy, sell, or hold recommendation or any specific trading or investing instructions. No license. I am not a MAS licensed financial advisor. You should conduct your own research and consult a licensed professional before making any investment or trading decisions. Market risk. Investing and trading involve risk. Markets can be volatile, especially in sectors affected by news, earnings, regulations, or clinical developments. Losses can occur. No guarantee. Past performance, historical data, technical patterns, or dividend history do not guarantee future results. Data accuracy. Information is based on publicly available sources as of 29 of March 2026. Accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed, right? Let's jump into Salesforce, the world's #1 AI CRM, customer relationship management, right? The key business pillars of this company is sales and service cloud, right? The core software used by companies to manage their customer sales teams and help desk. It also involved in data cloud, a platform that connects all of a company's data in one place so that AI can understand them, right? And Agentforce, a new AI platform that creates autonomous agents, software that do work tasks on its own for business. And this is the next big thing for AI as well, right? Okay. And also Slack, right? Communication and data visualization tools that help teams work together and see their business data clearly, right? Their footprint is basically a global leader in cloud software with a mission to help companies connect with their customers in a whole new way through using AI, right? Okay, let's look at the numbers, right? Okay, recent financial performance as of 2026, right? The revenue will be roughly around $41.5 billion, right? Okay, projected to be higher by 10% compared with the previous year, right? Okay, which is 2025, right? Okay, and they have a guidance for 2027 as well, right? Okay, which range from 45.8 billion to 46.2 billion, which is also about close to 10% jump, right? So basically revenue projected for 2026 2027 is roughly a projection of roughly a 10% up, right? Okay, and the positive about the company is that it has major growth in AI products. Agentforce Data Cloud revenue grew more than 200% this year, right? Okay, there are risks also involved in this company, right? Growth in older core business is slowing down as more companies wait to see how AI will change their needs and help them more, right? Okay, improve productivity as well, right? But the road ahead for this company, right? AI, basically they're focusing on AI transformation, moving from co-pilots, AI that assists you, to agents, AI that actually does the work for you, which is a big thing, right? Okay, definitely if this goes through, it will improve productivity a lot for other companies that they deal with, right? And key growth areas, right? Agentforce expansion, right? Over 29,000 deals closed since launch. Companies are using AI to handle millions of support requests, right? And data integration, right? Basically, they are using Informatica to help customers clean their data for AI, right? Okay. And in terms of their capital allocation, right, they announced a new $50 billion share buyback, right? Okay, share repurchase, and this will increase their stock value, right? And also help shareholders improve their dividends as well, right? Okay. But however, there are key risks to consider about this company, right? There's a big competition in AI, right? Big tech rivals like Microsoft and Google are also making AI tools for businesses, right? And spending fatigue as well. Company might slow down their software spending if they don't see immediate profits from AI. And there's margin pressure as well. high cost to build and run AI models could make it harder to keep profits high. So final thoughts is that Salesforce is shifting from a traditional software company to a AI first company. While the growth in AI is exciting, investors must watch if the new tech can replace the slowing growth in their older classic software products, right? And a look at the dividend, right? Okay, the stock pays a 0.9% dividend yield, right? And it's not high, but stocks has went down a bit, right? So the yield should improve a little bit as well. The quarterly dividend was just increased to 0.44 per share, right? Not amazing, right? Okay, based on dividend. But earnings outlook, right? Reported earnings per share for the last quarter was $3.81, right? Which was much higher than the $2.69 analysis expected, right? Much higher. And for 2027, the company expects earnings per share of about $13, which is a big jump from the last quarter, right? Okay. Of course, the last quarter is just one quarter, right? So if you multiply it by 4, it's roughly around this number as well, right? Okay. So roughly there, not going down. Growth forecast, management is targeting $63 billion in revenue by 2030, right? Okay. So in terms of valuation, the stock trades at a price to earnings ratio of approximately 23.8 times. This is much lower than the 5-year average of 175 times, right? When the stock price is so much higher. So suggesting that the stock is cheaper than it used to be relative to its profits in terms of share price as well, right? We'll take a look at the technicals and I'll show you why, because it has went down quite a bit, right? Okay. So in terms of technicals, right? Let's go into the chart, right? Okay. So we can see from here, since end of 2024, right, after hitting a high of $369, it has been on a steady move down, right? Okay, especially towards the middle of 2025, right? It has basically hovered around sideways between 230 to all the way 290, right? But recently, as of the late last year, right? Late last year, after reaching a high of roughly 269.11, right? Okay, in fact, 29th of December, it has came down quite a bit, right? Okay, all the way to a low of recent low of 174.57, right? Okay, so technically, right, it has been on a long-term downtrend for 1 year plus, almost 2 years, right? Okay. Coming 2 years soon, right? Okay, come December. But basically, the recent low here, right, 174.57, looks likely that it might be tested to go lower, right? Okay, but here's the thing: the next support level could be as over here, right, which is 126.34, right? This is a major support level, right? Don't think if it's going around that price, that it could be a bouncing point, a support level for it to go much higher. But right now it's roughly at $180, 179.31 to be exact, right? As of last Friday's close, right? The thing here is that that, like I say again, because the recent low, right, is current price now is very near to the recent low, and it might be tested and go slightly lower also, right? Okay, but of course after that it might start to bounce, right? Okay, so if it bounce, the next level of resistance is actually over here at 269.11, established in December 2025, right? Okay, if it does break this, right, it could signal a much higher price. But of course, a more recent resistance level is just established in March, which is 204.86, right? 204.86. At this level, 204.86, what if it just breaks above this level, it could go towards the high that I mentioned over here, right? 269.11, right? Okay. The likely scenario, right? Possible scenario that I see is that it might test this recent low and break much lower, right? After that, there might be buying momentum to push it much higher to break above this 204.86, right? Okay, but how much lower it is going to go is anybody's guess, right? I'm not here to tell you what price, but I only, based on the technicals, I forecast a possible likely scenario, right? Okay, so the possible likely scenario is, in conclusion, likely this recent low of 174.57 is going to be broken, right? Tested and broken. And there might be buying momentum coming in after that, breaking a high of breaking above the recent high of 204.86, right? Okay, that's a short-term view, right? Long-term wise, eventually I do think that it will continue to go above 269.11, right? Okay, but that is much longer than in a few years time, right? Okay, right now the company it is still undergoing a downward movement, right? We can see very clearly on the daily time frame, right? With no signs of rebounding. But having said that, the recent surge down is a bit too strong, right? Creating a very short-term overbought scenario. So likelihood it might break this, might not break, but there, because of the oversold scenario, there might be buying momentum to push it much higher in the short term, right? Breaking the recent high, right? Okay. So to put it into words, right? Current situation is that the stock is trending lower in the short term, breaking below the psychological $200 level. Is currently looking for a floor to stop the decline, and the recent low over here, 174.57, could be the floor, right? Could be the support for it to break higher, right? Okay, but having said that, this support might be broken slightly before a move up short term due to the oversold scenario, right? Okay, and like I say again, a multi-year low is at 126, right? Okay, and major resistance is at 297, right? Okay, and the recent high established in December, right? Okay, is at 269.11, right? Okay. We are more looking at the short term in terms of the secondary resistance is 204.86, recent high established in March, right? We want to see price break above this for a signal for it to go much, for a sign for it to go much higher, right? Okay, so bull case is that it must break above 204.86, right? To signal a sign for higher prices, right? A bear case will be that it trades below 174.57 and continue way going down to the major support, right? Okay. So in terms of risk management, always use a fixed percentage risk based on your capital, and that is 1% risk per trade, right? Okay, meaning that you only risk 1% of your capital in terms of losses, right? To make a trade based on your trading plan, right? Whichever or whatever is your trading plan, right? And correlations is IGV, right? And it's an ETF for software. Because CRM is a leading stock in this index and often move with the general software sentiment, right? Okay. Pre-trade considerations, right? Do check out for the next big financial update earnings, right? Which is around 27th of March, 27th of May 2026. Normally when news earnings like these dates is being announced, it does create a higher volatility and a big movement in the stock price. And most importantly, manage your position size like I mentioned earlier, right? Ensure that your trade is just a small part of your total capital, right? Okay, like I say, using 1% of your capital to risk to put a trade on CRM, right? Okay, and watch the AI adoption, right? Keep an eye on agentic work units, right? This is how they measure whether the Salesforce AI is actually doing how many tasks they are doing, right? Okay, this is a new way to measure a company whether their AI is working or not, right? Okay, so that's all for me. In conclusion, based on the technicals, right, I do see that even though it is in a long-term downtrend and is short-term also in a downtrend, right? Okay, but due to the December sell-off, it is slightly overshot, so there might be a short-term rebound, right? Okay, that is a likely possible scenario. But having said that, that rebound shouldn't be taken as a long-term uptrend as well, unless it breaks the support levels, the resistance levels that I mentioned earlier just now, right? And stay above those levels. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you real soon. See you soon.
I hope you loved the video and learned something new from it. If you want to receive more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notification. And if you want to learn more about the trade to win formula that I use in my trades, click on the link or button around this video to join my next free online workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn everything from finding the best opportunities to making consistent winning trades in the markets. I'll see you on the inside.